I'd like to call the September 11th, 2025 O'Fallon City Council Workshop to order. Roll call, Conan.
Mayor Hennessy.
Present.
Councilmember Wexler.
Present.
Councilmember Roth.
Present.
Councilmember Boyer.
Present.
Councilmember Thompson.
She's excused.
Councilmember Bibb.
Present.
Councilmember Cascella.
Present.
Councilmember Kewen.
Present.
Councilmember Taylor.
Present.
Councilmember Cook. Present. Councilmember Ragsdale.
Present.
All right, folks, you have an agenda in front of you. What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve Ragsdale.
Second, Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Anything on the agenda that you folks want to talk about? Seeing none. Workshop discussion items. Need a motion and a second to approve the City Council workshop meeting minutes of August 28th of 2025.
Motion to approve, Wexler. Cascella.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second by Cascella. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next is City Hall hours in December. Mr. Snowden.
Would you like me here or at the podium, sir?
There's fine.
Thank you, Mayor. For those of you that were here last year, you may recall this occurred last year. Based on the dates on which holidays fall in December 2025, a situation has been identified in which staff will be working one day between the Christmas Eve and Christmas Day holidays and the weekend. Last year it was a Monday. This year it's a Friday. Because there is little evidence that City Hall or other publicly accessible city buildings are typically busy with walk-in traffic or other business meetings, there is reason to believe that having city offices closed on that day would not be particularly detrimental to the public. Therefore, I would ask that the city treat Friday, December 26th, 2025, as if it were a paid day off for staff. Any staff who are required to work that day would receive a coupon for 8 hours of time off to be used at some point in 2026. That use would be based on staffing availability and other business considerations and would be forfeited if not used in 2026, nor could it be redeemed for actual pay. As usual, any staff that may be called in for an emergency situation or repair, like water, sewer, or street division staff, would be compensated in the same way as for any other event that would occur on a day on which they were not at work. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I would ask that the council consider offering December 26, 2025 as a paid day off for staff.
Questions? Ms. Ragsdale?
I have no issue with this, but my only question is, and I cannot remember what the state law has changed regarding filing.
We would have to check the dates. If that were the case, we would have to have a city clerk here that day from 8 to 5, and they would be subject to the coupon that I just mentioned.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody have a problem with this? There you go.
Thank you. The good news is this doesn't occur again until 2031. Thank you very much.
Okay. Next on the workshop discussion item, funding for roundabout and art installations. Ms. Cook, you're the one that requested this.
Yes, I did. Thank you. First, I was under the impression, I was watching the culture arts, and Mr. Drabell made a comment about the funding in the roads bond. I went back and watched it again today, and I apologize, Mr. Drabell, because actually what you said was that going out, the maintenance will be done by the roads fund. So the roads will be maintaining the roundabouts. But still watching the cultural arts, I realized that, they do have money to help pay for this piece of art that's going to go in the middle of the roundabout. And they've got an extra $15,000 even just this year. So since we were kind of talking about the amount of money being kind of high, I wanted to bring it to the council's attention that there is funds out there should we wish to take it out of the cultural arts and use the money from there rather than taking it out of general fund and doing it that way.
Questions from the council? Amanda?
Not really a question, but I was probably the one responsible because I had told Debbie Cook I'm a liaison for the cultural arts, and during that meeting I came back and was asked them couple of council members to watch it. As I sat there during the meeting, it was kind of, they were talking about this money that they had for the art and kind of hem-hawing how to spend it. And I was sitting there, well, like, we just voted to, for a piece of art, and they're over here trying to decide how to spend this money, So I was like, I know how to spend the thing. And right after that, Mr. Drabell gave the presentation on the roundabout and the piece of art. So I went back and was like, am I confused here? Can you watch this for me? Because I thought, this is something that probably should have been presented to them first before it had come to us for funding. And I also felt that they were a little taken aback that they weren't. I know they kept pressing on me about communication. We have this Cultural Arts Commission for a reason. And I think they were taken aback that they weren't approached before about using it, and also made the comment about this is the art collection they brought and would kind of want to have a say in it, what was bought as well. So those were the comments I wanted to bring from them to the council. But I did talk to the president of the Cultural Arts, and he seemed to have no problem using these funds for the art purchase for the roundabout.
Linda?
Thank you, Mayor. I think my biggest concern is that when we sat in strategic planning, we were talking about where do we come up for money for roads. That seems to be what everybody is interested in, is money to repair roads. And in this particular situation, it just seems like we are purchasing a piece of art and still having Cultural Arts purchase a piece of art. So it seems like we're doubling up on the amount of art that the city is buying when our focus needs to be on repairing roads. And I'm also concerned with where this particular roundabout is. It's not in a high visible area. I'm just very concerned about the amount of money that we're spending on a roundabout that very few of our residents are even going to be seeing.
Well, I'll disagree with that. Road is very heavily traveled. So that, I'll disagree with it's not visible. Yeah, that road is very heavily traveled for the folks down on the south end of town. Mr. Snowden.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a couple of items. First of all, the resolution that you passed did not state where the money was going to come from, so this is a great discussion to have, because wherever the money comes from would be in a mid-year budget adjustment that Vicki Boschert prepares later this year. So coming out of tonight, I would ask that the council give us a head nod where you want the money to come from, so the mid-year budget adjustment reflects your desires. The Cultural Arts Commission, the $25,000 that they have every year for art, is at the council's discretion. And so how that is spent and where that is spent is completely up to this body to decide. I know that the Cultural Arts Commission did have a desire to spend $10,000 of their $25,000 on a piece that will be created at the Heritage and Freedom Festival next year. The other $15,000 they have currently free and clear. It would normally be used to buy some sort of artwork from the collection that we have, the Shape of Community collection that are here on loan. And so if this body chooses to spend the $15,000 that they have available on this piece, it's obviously your call. We did not go to the Cultural Arts Commission this year because this came up very quickly. And speaking only for myself, I assumed that they'd already identified the artwork that they wanted to purchase, and they had their heart set on the $25,000 being spent in a particular way. Apparently I was incorrect with that. But regardless, the point was we weren't trying to bring CAC into it on this installation because it was just so fast moving. Moving forward, and I think we said this when we spoke to you about roundabouts in general, moving forward, the CAC is exactly who we are going to provide their guidance and expertise on which pieces of artwork are best suited for the roundabouts moving forward. And again, the funding is strictly up to the council how that happens. We could use CAC money every time we do a roundabout or not. Again, up to the council to decide. So I think there are several things at play here. We just didn't want to assume that CAC would be available to welcome this with open arms this year. So we're moving forward for next year with that. But again, the staff would ask council to give us a head nod on exactly what you want Vicky to do for that mid-year budget adjustment. Thank you, sir.
Questions?
Watching, I'm sorry.
Amanda?
This isn't about the budget. It was kind of a side question I had, as I'm new here, of course. And, you know, how do we even decide that this roundabout was going to get a piece of art? I remember that we had the presentation on the 3 roundabouts, and I went back and watched it and was like, did we vote on this? And it was just, I thought it was informational, but that's why I guess I want to clear up because, yeah, I kind of went and looked at the roundabout and kind of thought, I mean, that it seemed on an off street, but maybe they had more, you know, traffic there. But I was like, oh, is this even going to be seen by a lot, this piece of art? So, yeah, my question is, who decides that which roundabout had the art or not?
Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you, Mayor. So when we've presented this to the council in the past, we've not asked for an official vote because anything that we do would come back to you for your official action at a later time. We've always asked for a head nod, which is the same thing I'm asking for now because the head nod will give Vicky her instructions to bring the mid-year budget adjustment back to you for your formal vote. And so, yes, every time we've presented this, it's always been one in which the mayor says, is this okay with you? Head nod, shall we move forward? No formal votes have been taken. Which roundabout? It's actually all roundabouts. And so this is the first one that we have been in control of to build. And what I mean by that is the one at DD and Dalriada was MoDOT's project. And so we didn't have the option there. And so what we've brought to you in the past is that artwork will be in the roundabouts. We have 3 planned down on Deer Road over the course of the next several years. We have one at Cool Springs and Tom Ginnever that's planned. We have one on Main Street at 3rd. The intent, again, pending your final approval of all of these projects, is that each one of them will have artwork within those roundabouts. And moving forward, we would continue to put artwork in every roundabout that we build. How is that possible at this sort of price? Well, first of all, we don't expect to pay this amount of money for the artwork moving forward. However, the point is we just don't think we're going to be doing enough roundabouts that this will be a major undertaking. We know there will be no roundabouts built on Highway K or any MoDOT road. We don't control the ones, even if they did put in a roundabout. And so we believe that it's just the city-controlled roundabouts that we would add artwork in. I hope that answers your question.
Debbie?
Thank you, Mayor. So watching the cultural arts, they do have a really neat project planned for Heritage of Freedom Fest for America's 250th birthday. So I do not want to take funds from cultural arts for that. I think that's a wonderful thing. They've got it budgeted $8,000 to $10,000. But they were talking about trying to figure out what other art piece to buy. They were excited when they found out that we were using a piece of the art for the roundabout. I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and use the remaining $15,000 to put toward this project to offset the cost of this project, because when it was presented to us, it was presented at $60,000. Promised that it would never go that high. but this would definitely help offset that sum.
I don't need you to make a motion. Does anybody? Go ahead, Michael.
In that vein, if $15,000 is coming from the CAC portion for Vicky's mid-year budget adjustment, and given what you've all said about street improvements, do you want the other $10,000 for this artwork to come from general fund? I don't think we intended to take it from streets, but if you want to give direction, I'd appreciate that.
My thoughts is not even touch streets. Take it out of the general fund. You shaking your head no, or you shaking your head yes?
No, I agree with you. I do not want it to come from roads. Our road fund does not need to be used to buy art.
And that's fine, because when I looked down at you were doing this, I'm like,
Yeah, I think Vicky is saying it wasn't going to.
okay. Amanda?
I agree, it shouldn't come from roads. I also have a question. Next year, I know a lot of the cultural arts funding is going into the theater renovation, and I'm not sure if they will have an art budget to purchase art, but maybe just if you know or clear that up.
I don't know the answer.
That is correct. Next year, there is not a specific amount designated for art because of the theater project. I think the intention was to bring that back in 2027.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted, people to be aware of that going forward.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Cook. You want to take the 15 from Culture Arts to this project and the rest of it coming out of general fund? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Anybody have a problem with that?
Thank you. We will proceed as such.
Okay. Mr. Woods, review of upcoming P&Z Commission agenda items.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am here to go through our agenda we're working on for October 2nd. We've got quite a few things on here, actually. The first one is old business. This was tabled at our last meeting. This is the project down at O'Fallon Landing. This is at O'Fallon Road and Highway K, new residential development and commercial. It had been approved in the past for apartments, and now it's more row houses and some commercial. It was tabled because they needed a variance to the lot size on the residential units. There's the location map. That was on our Board of Adjustment meeting last night, and that was approved. So we did send out kind of a reminder today to them, or no, it was yesterday to them, that revised plans are due back to us next Wednesday to get, the new plans looked at for the meeting coming up. So that's the plan that we had received before. O'Fallon Road's kind of down here. This is the existing gas station. Circle K, yep. O'Fallon Road. This is the bank, and you don't really see it, but all this is the senior housing that's back there. Yep. So they'd have some commercial outlots, and we're going to have a condition on there that they got to, start construction on at least two, maybe I think two of those before we'll give a permit on the residential. And then this would be a public road. Right about here, the road would become private. This road going out to O'Fallon Road is private. And then going down here, this road going out to K is private. That's the Duckett Creek admin building drive that's back there. They'll tie into that, but it's a private drive there. And that's just kind of another shot of that. Yeah, they're calling that Autumn Grove. Here's the units. This is not exactly right because the units we're talking about are going to be attached in groups of fours, but this is what we have right now. Okay.
David, before you move on,
Yep.
for the council, the new folks, those were going to be apartments, and do you remember how many apartments were going to be there?
I'm going to say right around 230, give or take.
About 230 with the commercial. Now, with this project here, it's how many units?
68.
68 units,
Yeah.
so going from 238 to 68 units. And they're not apartments, these are townhomes, so,
Yeah, these will be for sale.
yep. Thank you.
A quick question: how are is it tied into Highway K? Is there two entrances
Yeah, so
from K?
this entrance will be a new entrance out to K. Across here is this much.
Goodwill.
Goodwill, yeah, it's being built now.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, it'd be kind of like, this is Goodwill. Here's like the ambulance office right there. So yeah, there'd be a new entrance there, and then everything there, that'd be the only new entrance on K. The other one, the one to the south exists, and then the one that's shown here, that's the one that goes to Circle K. And these new commercial outlots would all have access off this back road.
Okay, is there going to be that on kind of like the subdivision that's further down on K, where they've got that right before 364, where they built the extra on lane to get into K? We're going to do something similar here. Is this going to It's not backed up as bad here, but I could, K is kind of,
I'm not sure what you mean, like a decel lane to get out? Or?
yeah, coming out of the subdivision that's right before 364, right past,
Pheasant Point.
yeah, Pheasant, yeah. Where there's a whole,
Oh, in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we haven't really talked about anything like that.
because I didn't know if we would have a similar problem with these guys
Oh.
coming in and out.
This can be a full access.
It's going to be,
That'll be a full access. Pheasant Point's just 3. Oh, that's full access.
When you say full access, what does that mean?
it's,
Right in, right out, left out,
yeah.
left in, left out.
But there's no light there, so they're
No.
going to be fighting with the, getting into that could be a,
Well, my guess
all the
is
problems.
if they want the light, they're going to hit O'Fallon Road.
Yeah, you'd be able to go this way. Yeah,
there'll
there's,
be a way into the back, so that's perfect.
yep, there's a light there and get out to Cake going that way.
Michael?
And what that access actually looks like is completely up to MoDOT. They may want to place restrictions on it. We don't know yet. I don't believe this has gone to MoDOT. David has it?
We sent it to them for comments. I haven't heard anything officially, but they have got it.
Okay.
Received it, yeah.
Oh, good point, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, David.
Yep. So our next project here is Stonebridge Commons. This is the corner of Knaust and Mexico. This has got a lot of history here at the city, different projects over the years. Currently, it's all zoned commercial, CO office. This is the property. New Knaust, this is South High School. It's all frontage. This is Chadwick subdivision, Old Knaust. It doesn't go through currently. There's a kind of a Jersey barrier blocking it with the temporary cul-de-sac, I guess. We got a gas station that's in there with Mario's Pizza. So one of the big things on this is they're showing this road to be open now. So that's one of the things that's going on here. But we have this on here as a rezoning. So they would rezone this from CO to mixed use, which allows single family. They're wanting to do villas and then some commercial. And then here's the zoning limits. So all of this would be zone mixed use. This would be the residential part. This would be the commercial. Like this next one kind of shows a little bit better. This is kind of the western half of that strip of property. So again, this is Old Knaust going through, showing it to be going through. You can kind of barely see there's a hatch line. That's where that cul-de-sac is now, where Old Knaust dead ends. Mexico is up here. This would be they've got a pavilion, kind of little gathering area with the mail kiosk and some parking. Then they'd have a one road going down, 58 units, all attached, like 2-family units. And this is the eastern half of it, kind of picking up, going down, dead ends. This is a hammerhead turnaround, which we have allowed these in the past. And then you have this at the very corner. This is, I'll just say New Knaust. And this would be a commercial, like a speculative retail building. It's got four bays with a drive-through. And then they'd have access out onto Mexico going this way. And then kind of going down around and access out onto Knaust, which is just right in, right out. So you can only access this going this way, going south. You can make a right in to get in, or you can make a right out and go south. But you cannot, if I'm heading north, I can't actually make that turn in there. There's an island there. So this is on there for a rezoning that'll be coming to the council, and an area plan that'll come to council.
David, on two things, are we going to make them do the commercial at the same time as the residential like we're doing on the other one?
Same kind
We're
of.
going to do that?
Yeah.
And the second thing is I really don't see Old Knaust opening up. I'm not in favor of Old Knaust opening up. To me, they can get their entrance into that where they got it without opening up the.
I was surprised that they were showing that, to be honest with you. We never said we wanted
No,
We've never
I think
said
we
it was-
told him when
yeah,
we first did that that wasn't, we didn't want it to open
Yeah.
up, but
But I do think, the way it's drawn, if they, if we do require coldest, they would most likely lose at least a couple units. I do know that's a possibility.
I'm gonna leave it up to the Ward 1 guys. Amanda, you got a question?
I just want to know, are those also for sale or rent?
For sale, yeah.
John, Oliver, Old Canals?
No, I think we talked about leaving it closed because they were going to lose the first 2 lots is the last that we talked about, I think. But I do believe we have a meeting with EJ and them and the residents of Chadwick coming up next week or the week after, 23rd, right? And we'll hash out some more of those details about Old Canals.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
This is just the elevations of the commercial building, which is very similar to the building that was just approved down at Shady Creek, Highway N, and Lake St. Louis Boulevard. It's pretty much the similar layout. This is the elevations of the homes. There's a couple different just perspectives. They're not too much different, but just quickly going through that. Next item, 37 O'Fallon Square. This is the strip mall, kind of west of Storco on Veterans Memorial Parkway. That's not really telling you too much, but I'm trying to picture where we're at here. But Storco's kind of back here, if you know what I mean. The U.S. Bank's over here. Pantera's, okay, we know where that's at over there. So there's that strip mall, Subway, and all that's in here. They want to open up a. We don't have much information from these folks, but it's being called Brutini, so some kind of little bar. About all we know right now. I don't have much more on that. We've sent them comments. Hopefully, we'll get more information here soon. But that's what I know right now. Bank of Old Monroe. This is a new site plan proposed down at Streets of Caledonia. So here we go. This is Highway DD. Here's one of the roundabouts we were talking about. There's a gas station here. We had McDonald's proposed. It was on an agenda and withdrawn here just not too long ago across the street. So this is on this side of DD, Bank of Old Monroe. And that's just the cover sheet. Here's the site plan. There'd be a new kind of private road kind of behind the back of the lot. They'd have it kind of this is just a right-in access into this lot. And the elevations of that. The next one. This is in the downtown overlay district, 507 Sondren, a new multifamily. So this is currently zoned R1. They want to rezone it to R3, which allows up to 10 units per acre. And then we have a site plan for that. So this is Bill Service Center and the North Middle School. It's kind of down off the page. So this is kind of tucked in the back. You really can't see it at all from Sondern. Sondern's out here. Sorry, that's not the best map I've put together. 507 Sondern. So there's a private drive. The bowling alley is like right across the street. There's a private drive that goes down this road, kind of this property line. There's an old house kind of tucked back in here. And he wants to put in 2 apartment buildings. Pretty much, this is the same man that's built the same product on Highway P in the years past. So he wants to do that same product back there. This would be apartments, which is rental. That's a picture of the building. And
Are that road's going to stay private?
that'll all be private. Yeah. Yeah, one thing that's kind of odd on this is this entrance, kind of hard to see. There's a right, like an entrance lane and then an exit, and in the middle there's an island that's got a utility pole in it, if you know where I'm talking. So it's not the best access, and I think It's actually, there's part of this that really narrows down to not much, so he's going to have to do some improvements through here to get back there.
Michael?
David, have you heard from the fire department on this? Is that something they're going to be able to handle, getting back that little bitty driveway?
We sent them the same plans. I don't know that I've seen anything yet on that. I don't think I've seen anything, but it may not be on my radar to look, but we definitely did send it to them, but I can check, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Amanda?
Is that currently zoned for apartments?
It's going to have to be rezoned. Currently, it's zoned R1. Yeah, so this is the two things that'll come to, or the one thing that'll be coming to council. The second one will be the site plan at P&Z, but the first one is the council item, which will be zoning from R1 to R3.
The only thing is, Amanda, you can't see it coming down Sonder, and you can't see it coming off of 70. It is not going to be able to be seen. It's not like it's right off of Sonder, and it's a ways back there. Any questions on this one? Go ahead, David.
Okay, and I think this is my last one. This is 988 Bryan Road. This is for Lee's Famous Chicken. So this is in right at Bryan and White Magnolia, right at the corner. So here's Bryan, White Magnolia. This is the Dutch Bros, the private road that goes back, and then Columbia Meadows is kind of back there. And we just have a site plan for that. They would have a connection sharing the drive here with the Dutch Bros, and pretty much your standard restaurant with the drive-through. It's got the dual lanes.
This is the last lot on that
On
piece
that
of
side.
property, if I'm not mistaken,
The
correct?
last one, yeah. So, not much else to really say, and that's the elevation. Some of this is actually more metal than we allowed, so we've got to comment on that. So this might look a little different. That's it.
Any other questions for David? Thank you. Any other items for consideration? Seeing none, motion to go to closed session, 610-0211. Legal action, cause of action, litigation involving public governmental body and any confidential or privileged communication between a public governmental body or its representative, its glorious attorney. 610-0212. Leasing, purchasing, or sale of real estate, and 610-0212. Sealed bids and related documents till the bids are opened, and sealed proposals and related documents or any documents related to a negotiated contract until a contract is executed or all proposals are rejected.
Ragsdale.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second by Councilman Wexler. Roll call, Conan.
Councilmember Bibb.
Yes.
Councilmember Roth.
Yes.
Councilmember Ragsdale. Councilmember Taylor.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Cascella.
Yeah.
Councilmember Kewen.
Yes.
Councilmember Wexler.
Yes.
Councilmember Cook.
We'll be in the community room at 6:20. I'd like to call the September 11th, 2025 O'Fallon City Council meeting to order. Roll call, Katie.
Mayor Hennessy,
Present.
Councilmember Wexler,
Present.
Councilmember Roth,
Present.
Councilmember Boyer,
Present.
Councilmember Thompson,
She's excused.
Councilmember Bibb,
Present.
Councilmember Cascella,
Present, sorry.
Councilmember Kewen,
Present.
Councilmember Taylor,
Present.
Councilmember Cook, Councilmember Ragsdale.
Present.
Thank you. If everyone would please stand for the invocation by Police Chaplain Michael Atherton, Senior Pastor of the First Baptist Church of O'Fallon, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilmember Kewen.
You join me in a word of prayer? Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening. We thank you for this day. We thank you for this day of remembrance as we reflect on everything that we as a country have been through, quite frankly, over the last 24 hours, as well as over the last 24 years. Father, tonight we come recognizing that each and every one of us, we have the opportunity right now confronting us to make this world a better place, to leave it better than we found it. And Father, we pray that you give us the courage and conviction to do just that. Father, I thank you for our city leaders, both our elected leaders and those who serve vocationally. Father, I pray that your hand of protection would be upon them, that you guide them, guard them in all things. Father, I pray just a word of thanks for a tremendous community that you've given to us here in O'Fallon. Father, I thank you for our schools, and I thank you for our first responders. Father, we thank you for our hospitals and our nursing homes. Father, we thank you for the places of business that we can go and get those needs that we have met. Father, we just praise you for giving us a good home to raise our children, to see our grandchildren thrive. Father, I pray for our meeting tonight that you would guard us as we walk through the various matters on the agenda. We love you. For it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Folks, you got an agenda in front of you. What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve, Kewen. Second, Costello.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Costello. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. And to our pastor who did yet, I want to thank you for being there this morning for our 9/11 ceremony. So thank you for the invocation and the benediction. We really do appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. Next on the presiding officer's report, I'd like to have a motion to ratify my appointment of Anthony Graham to serve as an alternate member on the Veterans Commission from Ward 3, filling the remainder of an unexpired term until September of 2026.
Costello.
Motion by Costello, second.
Bibb.
Second by Councilman Bibb. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, I have a motion to ratify my appointment of Donald Hawbaker to serve as a commission member on the Planning and Zoning Commission from Ward 5, filling the remainder of the unexpired term until April of 2027.
Ragsdale?
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second.
Roth.
Cook.
Well, he beat you to it, Debbie. Second by Councilman Roth. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we have a little thing with Mr. Costello. If you want to go down the podium and introduce.
Thank you, Mayor. Wow, it's my first time being on this side of the podium. It's a little more stressful and a little more anxious on this side. So one of the cool things about being an elected official is we get to decide how we spend our ward report or take the mayor's time and take up the presiding officer's report. And when presented with the opportunity to highlight an inspiring young man who's doing a leadership program and decided that he wanted to attend a city council meeting, I thought, what better way than to get him up here, get him in front of the podium, and tell about his program himself. So without further ado, Liam.
So I'm doing a leadership program, and my name is Liam Trantina, and I go to Fort Zumwalt South Middle, and I'm here to learn and take notes.
Come on back up here, buddy. So, do you have any questions for myself, any of the council members, city administrators, especially our attorney here? You know, you got to have a question for the attorney.
Nope. Not yet, at least.
Good luck, sir. We appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Next is citizens' comments. We have one speaker, Mr. Dienoff.
Thank you very much, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dienoff, City Public Advocate, running for City Council in April. Last meeting, in the meeting minute agenda, Crusher Drive was brought up, talking about the roundabout and moving art in the amount of at least $25,000, maybe $50,000, and Mr. Dravell made a proposal to you. The amount of vehicles that will see this monument is about 1,500 people, drivers per day. It's far off of Missouri Highway K on Crusher Drive. There's a huge liability to the city of O'Fallon. There's a great maintenance need in terms of labor intensive for mowing, sprinkler heads, taking care of the vegetation. Safety is an issue. The first person or first incident or injury hitting this large, tall monument is going to end up suing the city of O'Fallon. I want to point out to the fountain that's about, I would say, 8 or 9 or 10 feet from the pavement in downtown Belleville, Illinois, that has a fountain. How many times drivers who are drunk end up in the middle of the fountain? I would ask that somebody on the city council have the gumption and have the audacity to ask or reconsider a member in the yes category. I think that's only proper. I think that this is a maintenance intensive, losing money pit, and I think it's going to cost the city a lot of money in terms of liability. Moving to the agenda, on the consent agenda is Resolution A, which is lab services. To the best of my knowledge, in previous years at our water and sewer division, we've had somebody in-house who knew biology and chemistry and who did the in-house lab services or sent them out to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for little or free charge. So I'm asking, why are we not doing this in-house rather than contracting out? Resolution B is $125,000 for the Eastern Missouri Pavement Consortium. Again, that entity is owned by the city of O'Fallon and costing our taxpayers a great deal of taxpayer money. Moving on to Resolution C on the agenda, tax-exempt bonds, reimbursing the city for capital expenditures at Public Works, at the Law Enforcement Training Center in a floodplain that's going to flood and cost us a lot of replacement costs because insurance won't be replacing it for us since it's in a floodplain. And it seems like a lot of paperwork and a lot of extra cost. Property owned by the city is Resolution D, $50,900 in additional scope for the wastewater treatment plant for solid handling. Why are we not doing that in-house rather than contracting it out? Change order number 4 is $600,000 for...
Mr. Dienoff, your time is up, sir.
Contract is out of kilter there. Thank you.
So all the citizens' comments that we have brings us to ward reports. Ward 3.
Thank you, Mayor. Back in July, my company provided pricing for the Castle project based on the understanding that the project owner was Castle, which aligns with the intergovernmental agreement that we all approved in September of 2024, as well as the construction bid documents. The draft contract and the bid documents, the architect quoted standard language for the AI forms in Missouri, contained a conflicts clause, which I'd never seen included in O'Fallon bid documents. As an example, the Public Works project, which bid and was awarded earlier this year, further solidified my understanding that the project owner is in fact the Castle Board, which I do not have a conflict with. While Wright has received a signed contract listing Castle as the owner, I have recently been notified that the owner of the project must now be changed to the city of O'Fallon. This unilateral change now creates a conflict for me that I did not have existing previously. While it was abundantly clear in our August council meeting that those council members who voted for the resolution to award the Castle contract to Wright Construction understood what the O'Fallon Code of Ethics states, I am certain none of them understood that approving the contract for the owner to then be changed after the fact would create a conflict that it has. Furthermore, I believe that they voted on the contract believing that all of its parts are written to be in direct correlation with our own O'Fallon codes and ordinances which the governing body oversees. While I am certain what the outcome would be if I took the litigious route, that win would be a loss for everyone involved. I have worked hard the past 6.5 years serving my community, and while it's the last thing I want to do in the best interest of the residents of O'Fallon and our outstanding police department, under duress, I am announcing my resignation from this council effective immediately. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Bibb. I appreciate you. Mr. Cascella.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Ward 4. Ms. Taylor?
Wow, I'm in shock. First, tonight I just want to wish my husband a very happy birthday. For 2 months, we're actually the same age, so I like to remind him that we are, and he is indeed not younger than me at that time. I also wanted to remind everyone to come on out and catch the O'Fallon Theater Works production of The Curious Savage that has its final performances this weekend on Friday evening, Saturday, and Sunday. You won't want to miss it. And on this September 11th, we pause to remember the lives lost and the bravery shown on the day that forever changed our nation. It was a reminder of both our vulnerability and our resilience, and how important it is to stand united in the face of hatred and violence. Yet today, we see a different kind of violence that's striking at the heart of our nation. In just 3 months, 2 political figures had been assassinated. As an elected official myself, I feel the weight of that reality deeply. The hatred and division that fuels such acts are corrosive not only to politics, but to the fabrics of our communities. We cannot allow violence to become normalized. Disagreements should be met with debate, not destruction. Division should be answered with dialogue and not hatred. So as we reflect both on September 11th and these recent tragedies, may we find the courage to confront the hatred, the wisdom to bridge the divisions, and the compassion to see one another's humanity again. So thank you.
Mr. Kuhn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to start by honoring my friend and fellow council member, Nathan Bibb. What he said is exactly correct. I voted to award it because at the time, there was absolutely nothing illegal about it. In fact, it was perfectly following our city charter. There was nothing unethical about it. He's a member. He did not vote. He did not have any forethought knowledge or any advantage in his bid whatsoever. I think that's proven by the fact that Wright Construction has bid 2 or 3 projects since Nathan has been on this board, and he just wasn't the successful bidder. I mean, if he had inside knowledge, it would make sense that he would be the successful bidder on all of them. That being said, I applaud Mr. Bibb for stepping down, for falling on his sword. I understand that the circumstances are confusing and in some ways distasteful, but he did the right thing because that's what Councilman Bibb has done for the last 6 years. I too wanted to talk tonight about Charlie Kirk, about the individual who was assassinated for his political statements yesterday. And whether you agreed with his positions, disagreed with his positions, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, whether you're a liberal or conservative, that ought to disgust every one of us. That kind of violence has no place in this society. This is a democratic republic where people are supposed to have a right to say what they think, what they want in public without being persecuted and certainly without being killed. It starts at the lowest levels, from disrespect shown at a city council meeting by applauding when somebody announces their step down, all the way up to people who keep accelerating that. using divisive words like Nazi, fascist. That type of language has no place in this society. I mean, imagine that there's someone who's maybe not as mentally stable as they ought to be listening and hearing over and over again that the opposition is a fascist or a Nazi or a socialist or communist. If they're not entirely stable and they take that very literally, which apparently some people have, then they're going to feel that not only is it their right, but their duty to go out and hurt people, because nobody wants to have a country that's run by Nazis, fascists, socialists, or communists. So let's try to keep the negativity to a minimum and try to understand that we need to all carry ourselves with a certain amount of decorum, particularly when we're dealing with our politics. Look, I don't agree with the politics of everybody up here. That's why we have votes. But I respect every single one of us up here. We're up here for the same reason, because we care about our community and we want to do what's best for our residents. We're up here because we love the city of O'Fallon, and we have a vision for how it ought to be run. We do our very best. We hope that we get reelected, but if we don't, well, we did our best anyway. Just because you don't see eye to eye on politics, even if you don't see eye to eye on anything on politics, let's treat each other with respect and kindness. If we can't have some sort of civil dialogue, then how on earth are we going to be able to be a community, a country, one people? So I'd ask everybody to reflect on that, reflect on the violence that has been visited the last couple of months in this country on a national stage, and apply it here at the local stage as well. Show some respect for your fellow man, your neighbor, your councilman, your St. Charles representative, your state representative. Even if you don't agree with their political views, at least understand that they're not doing it because they're evil, or they're a Nazi or a communist. They're doing it because they think that's what's best for the community. And, voice your opinions. Be loud. Make sure people hear that you disagree with that person. Just leave out the violent rhetoric like Nazi and communist. That has no place in our society. That's all I have. Thank you.
Ward 5.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to say, over the last 36 hours, I have a lot of friends who were actually personal friends of Charlie Kirk, so it's very, very emotional for me. But it's not unlike 9/11. I remember exactly where I was when the towers came down on September 11th of 2001, and I will never forget where I was yesterday when I found out about Charlie Kirk's shooting and later his that he actually died. And I won't even say that he passed, he was murdered, and that totally breaks my heart, because nobody deserves to be murdered for their political views in this country. That's just, we shouldn't accept that. But on a lighter note, getting off all of that soapbox, I do want to say that this morning we had a beautiful 9/11 ceremony here at City Hall. The mayor started things off. It was great to see our youth with the Mayor's Advisory Youth Council that emceed the program. They did an outstanding job, so thank you to Ethan and Emily who did that. Along those same lines, MIAC will be having their monthly meeting on Tuesday, September 16th here in City Hall. It's going to be their first televised meeting that they have, so I'm very excited for them. And then on Friday, September 19th, is the POW MIA Remembrance Ceremony, 7 o'clock at Veterans Memorial Walk. I hope that several of you will join us for that. And then save the date for the Veterans Museum Remembrance Gala. This will be their 3rd annual gala, and that date is November the 14th. Happy hour starts at 6, and the program starts at 7, and you can get your tickets by visiting the Veterans Museum website at mavm.org. And that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Ms. Cook.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say, Amanda and Jeff both stated it very well, so I feel exactly the same way, and I'm totally surprised about Nathan. Even though I was one of the no votes, I told Nathan, even on a personal phone call, that it was nothing personal, that I voted no against it. I would have voted no against anybody up here with that contract, but he still will be missed. I enjoyed working with him the last several years, so he definitely will be missed. So again, on a lighter note, Ward 5 does have an HOA coming up next Thursday. Villas of Dames will be here at the multipurpose room at 6 o'clock. I hope everybody can turn out. Thank you.
Thank you. Ward 1.
Mayor, I don't have nothing to say right now.
Mr. Wexler.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. So this past weekend, Saturday, I got to go out on a police ride-along with one of our great officers here in the city of O'Fallon. So huge hats off.
They didn't throw you in jail, did they?
No, they did not. Huge hats off to what they go through. It's pretty amazing to see how like a simple dog barking phone call can very quickly spiral out of control. So just it was awesome to see the calmness in our police officers and them, how they work in a team. So just wanted to give a big shout out to those guys. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Boyer, Ward 2.
Today, September 11th, this is a very somber day. Everything that we're going through as a country, it's very rough. Just as you're out and about, just choose love. Love your fellow man. Choose kindness. You've got that choice in you, so do that. If you need an escape from reality, you're like, this is just too much, as Amanda Taylor said, Curious Savage this weekend. It's a very awesome show, very fun. You get to check out of this reality and go back in the 1950s and have a little bit of fun there, right here upstairs in the City Hall. It's a whole lot of talent and 2 hours of fun. So thank you. That's all I got. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Brings the City Administrator's report. Mr. Snowden.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, you will note that we have Bill 7787, which is an ordinance amending the legal description of a small parcel that is being annexed. When our staff took the annexation agreement to the county located a more specific legal description of the parcel and rejected our attempt to record the annexation. Because this is not a substantive change to the ordinance, staff is respectfully requesting that this ordinance be read through to final passage tonight so we can get this recorded as quickly as possible. On behalf of all of our staff, I'd like to thank Councilmember Bibb for all of his work on behalf of the city. On a personal note, I want to say how much I appreciated Mr. Bibb's leadership and steady guiding hand, and I wish him well. Lastly, I'd like to wish a happy upcoming birthday to Councilmember Ragsdale, and that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, sir. Brings us to old business. Brings old business, brings us to Bill 7781.1. Motion for second reading by title only.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 7781.1, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance providing for the levying of a property tax for the city of O'Fallon, Missouri for the year 2025 for the purposes of general revenue and debt service.
Motion final passage.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilwoman Ragsdale. Questions or comments? Linda?
Thank you, Mayor. Vicki, if you don't mind, can you explain, my understanding is that this tax levy actually is decreasing the amount that the average resident would pay in taxes to O'Fallon. Is that correct?
For a home value of equal value from last year to this year, the taxes will go down because the rates are dropping.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Kewen?
Yeah, that's all I was going to point out is that what we're voting on here is to actually lower the tax rate again.
Okay. Anybody else? Seeing none, cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. 7781.1 passed, becomes ordinance number
7241.
7241.
Yes.
Thank you, Katie. Questions, comments on committee and commission reports? Seeing none, let me stand as read. Questions and comments on the consent calendar?
Motion to approve, Kewen.
Ragsdale.
Cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Consent calendar has been approved. Brings us to new business. First is public comment to consider approval of an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to the owners of Machine, Inc. to allow a tattoo and body piercing establishment in the C2 General Business District under certain conditions on a certain tract of land located at 207 O'Fallon Plaza within the great city of O'Fallon, Missouri. Is there someone here to present this? If you would give us your name and address for the record.
Mike
Tell us what
Snarzik.
you want.
710 Rabbit Run, Winsville, Missouri. And you needed what? I'm sorry.
What do you want to do?
We want to open a tattoo shop. So we have another one in St. Peters. It's the largest in St. Peters, and we have the best reviews. We have a 5.0 or 4.9 with 5 stars, which is like about as good as you can get with almost 1,000 reviews. We've been open for 4 years now. Everybody there is licensed. We have one apprentice who goes around and cleans and does a bunch of stuff for us. We do everything by the book. We have no violations, nothing like that. We're one of the more successful tattoo shops in the area. Kid-friendly as well. I know somebody mentioned something about the fact that the area for 702 or 207 is in front of Grace's kids store, which any kind of stuff that's done on the body that would be revealing would be behind closed doors or have a partition that would keep them completely covered. But other than that, the goal of opening this shop is to give the artists that I have now, we have 15 artists in a 2,400 square foot area, more room to do what they need to do and to deal with more clients and to work better and not feel so cramped and crammed and stuff. But other than that, that's just all we want to do is open a cool tattoo shop.
Okay.
That's it.
Question is, you follow all state and local rules and health and all that stuff, make sure everything's cleaned and...
Correct. So we all have to go by state guidelines as well as the city. So the city health department and the fire department, as well as anybody else that comes into the city to check the building out, is going to go through this. But the health department, we go by our bloodborne, airborne illnesses and pathogens. We go through testing for that once every 6 months. Everybody has to have a certification hung up and valid with a state ID picture and a state license. In St. Peters, we all are licensed and have an additional St. Peters license through the state and through the city. So everybody is completely up to date. With the piercing, we're actually trying to be the only shop in St. Charles County that's got the BBC registry on it, which I don't misquote me if I said that wrong. I'm not the piercer, but we're trying to have the best rating for piercings because we have one of the best piercers in St. Charles County, period. And the way that we do that, we do everything through Sharps Assure. So all of our sharps, our needle disposal and stuff like that is taken care of through a company. So they come in, they give us red containers, safety containers. We bag them all up and we give them to them for disposal. Everything that touches a client doesn't touch anything else or any other client. It's all separated. Any kind of piercing is separated from tattooing. And any kind of sharp or anything like that is placed into a container that nobody could get a hold of. Also, we keep about 5 to 6 feet away from any kind of fabric surface or anything like that that would cause any kind of cross-contamination. But as far as safety goes, I mean, they keep it pretty simple for us to keep everything real safe and clean.
Okay. You said BBC. Is that British
I
Broadcasting
can't
Company?
remember what he said. I was trying to remember what it was. BB something. I'm like, I wish I would have remembered. But Tracy he's got kidney failure right now, so yeah, he wasn't able to come in today and talk to you guys about it.
Questions for the applicant? Ms. Cook?
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, this question is for David. Is this allowed, this usage allowed in our downtown overlay area?
Yeah, it's a conditional use in the downtown, but that's why it's here, but it is in the downtown overlay as a conditional use.
Okay, thank you.
I think when we first brought this up, I think we allowed it into the downtown district, if I'm not. Okay. Anybody else? If you would step aside, this is public comment.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Mr. Dienoff.
Thank you very much, members of the City Council. Arnie C. A.C. Dienoff, City Public Advocate. First of all, the state statute is very clear in reference to Chapter 324, in particular 324.520 through 324.526 of the revised state statutes of Missouri. And it very clearly defines that no tattoo artist shall do no underage tattoos without a written consent with a document. And I'm pretty stern about that. If you've heard me speak about other tattoo shops, especially on Missouri Highway K, that have come up before the city council in the past year for a conditional use permit. Also of a concern is tattoo artists. They have an obligation, a moral obligation, an ethical obligation under the Department of Professional Registration and the Board of Tattoo Artists. I forget the exact name under the chapter. But I don't believe that giving tattoos while an adult is under the influence of alcohol, drugs, or marijuana is appropriate. And so I want to make sure that our police department homes in on that and make sure that they do some spot checking to make sure that nobody under the influence is being given any type of tattoo without having a clear mind and a clear conscience. This business offers a choice with the other tattoo businesses throughout our city. It gives our adults a choice and provides maybe a pricing issue. This is governed by the state professional registration, and it's a licensed board with agents who do periodic inspections and periodic checks of the tattoo parlor. And there can be complaints that are made online if there are known violations or alleged. Excuse me, Mr. Kewen, I have the floor. It's very rude when you speak when somebody else is talking. You don't know what I'm talking about? You just spoke when I had the floor. So if you want to be rude. So anyways, since we have rudeness here at the city council, which is not an example for our nation, when you just said that we should respect one another, kind of contradictory. But anyways, I'm in favor of this application, and I'd ask unanimous approval of the members of the city council. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have no other speakers, so I'll go ahead and close the public comment. Any other questions for the applicant? Mr. Cascella.
Yeah, just a comment. I've researched the company. They are awesome. They do awesome work. Their portfolio is amazing. What I would challenge you is to get involved with some of the awesome events that the City of O'Fallon puts on. Would really love to see your business highlighted in the Rail District next year, and all of the other cool things that the city has to help promote your business.
Thanks, sir. Anybody else? Mr. Kewen.
Yeah, I think the only real downside here is I've gotten a tattoo from every other O'Fallon tattoo shop, and now I have to figure out what I want for another one. So I will say that I've known the owners of the plaza for a very long time, for decades, in fact, and they're a pillar in the community, and I welcome you to the city.
Anybody else? Seeing none, brings Bill 7782, motion for first reading.
Roth.
Motion by Councilman Roth, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Roth, please present the bill.
An ordinance providing for the rezoning of a certain tract of land located at the corner of T.R. Hughes Boulevard.
Nope. 7782, buddy.
Oh, shoot. It's a good thing I got my glasses on.
There you go.
An ordinance granting a conditional use permit to the owners of Machine Inn, Inc. to allow a tattoo and body piercing establishment in a C2 general business district under certain conditions on a certain tract of land located at 207 O'Fallon Plaza within the city of O'Fallon, Missouri. Or, let me correct that, in the great city of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Thanks, sir. Next is unified public hearing and public comment for the rezoning of conditional use for property at T.R. Hughes Boulevard and East Terra Lane. Someone here to present this? If you would give us your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Ramon Sarmiento with SS Design. We are the architects for the project. We're located at 119 South Main Street in St. Charles, Missouri. So we are proposing to develop this 1.9 acres tract of land bounded by T.R. Hughes, East Terra Lane, and Public Works Drive. The proposal will have 7,500 square feet of building space, with 4,900 square feet of it to be a convenience store with fuel sales, and 2,600 square feet of leasable space for retail and carry-out only food sales. Currently, due to the constraints of the flood zone, the proposed service road on the back of the building will be strictly for delivery and service purposes. The facade of the building will be a combination of EIFS, cementitious board drain screen with masonry and aluminum accents. Per planning and zoning comments, bollards, the spacing of the bollards will be reduced to 4 feet on centers, and self-locking doors will be provided on the trash enclosures, and the hours of operation would be from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions? Seeing none, if you would step aside to this public hearing, Mr. Dinoff.
Thank you very much again, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dinoff, City Public Advocate. This property has been idle and has grown up a little bit, been a parking area for a long time without any development. I welcome them with open arms, this development, as it will generate much needed sales taxes to offset our real estate and personal property tax on residents. Commercial is the property with their new building will generate taxes at I believe it's 32% being a commercial entity. And so I like the concept of Circle K, especially the Circle K that was built at Lake St. Louis Boulevard and Missouri Highway N. Just if they keep their food stocked and hopefully have enough labor. Some of the other stores around town close at early hours, 9 o'clock sometimes on North Main Street, and some other the other Circle K doesn't have enough staffing. Hopefully they'll overcome those availabilities. But I welcome them. I think it's a good use of the property. It'll generate sales tax and real estate tax for all the political subdivisions that's greatly needed. We need to concentrate on economic development. Hopefully this will spur that neighborhood, especially when the city moves out of its public works facility and fleet facility. Instead of it being a dinosaur or an elephant, that we'll be able to sell that and repurpose that property or have some type of new development, especially to its relation and location to I-70. For those reasons, I ask unanimous approval by the City Council for this application and this conditional use permit. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other speakers. Go ahead and close the unified public hearing. Any?
I would like to make a correction. During the planning and zoning meeting, we had a correction. It's going to be a Phillips 66 store instead of a Circle K.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we changed that in P&Z, didn't we not, David? Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? Seeing none, brings Bill 7783. First reading.
Wexler.
First by Councilman Wexler, second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Wexler, present the bill, please.
Bill number 7783, an ordinance providing the rezoning of a certain tract of land located at the corner of T.R. Hughes Boulevard and East Terra Lane, south of Public Works Drive, owned by Five Star Investments, from I-1 Light Industrial District to C2 General Business District.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7784. Motion for first reading.
Roth.
Motion by Councilman Roth, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Roth, please present the bill.
An ordinance granting a conditional use permit to the owners of Five Star Investments to allow a convenience store with fuel cells in a C2 general business district under certain conditions on a certain tract of land located at the corner of T.R. Hughes Boulevard and East Terra Lane, south of Public Works Drive, within the great city of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Thank you. Next is the unified public hearing and public comment for the rezoning and conditional use permit for the property located at 835 and 839 West Terra Lane. If you would give us your name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Drake Johnston, 221 Point West Boulevard, St. Charles. I'm here to speak on behalf of the developers. The proposed project is located east of St. Dominic Drive along West Terra Lane, just north of I-70. And as you can see here, the subject property is a little over 1.5 acres and has an existing zoning of C2 on the western parcel and R1 on the eastern parcel. The western parcel contains the Milan Bush Auto Dealership, and the eastern parcel contains a parking lot used as vehicle storage and an old church building. The neighboring properties to the east and west are zoned C2, while the properties to the north are zoned R1. City's comprehensive plan calls out this tract as being ideal for C2 zoning. The proposed plan would rezone this eastern parcel to C2 and obtain a conditional use permit to allow the dealership to expand onto this parcel. The proposed project will consist of removing all existing pavement and buildings to construct a new automotive dealership and associated repair shop on the eastern portion of the site, as well as a parking lot to store and display the vehicles. This would require a conditional use permit for the automotive sales to take place, and we will include all associated landscaping, storm sewer, and other utility services. A photometric plan, fire district approval, MoDOT approval, Missouri DNR, and all other necessary approvals will be provided with the construction documents. Were there any questions from the City Council at this time?
Questions for Drake? Mr. Kuhn?
It's more curiosity than anything. So currently it's 2 lots, correct?
Correct.
And in doing this, are you going to then make it 1 lot or just treat it as one?
We will consolidate it, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Jewel Lighthouse Church. Jewel Lighthouse Church.
Right.
Okay. Anybody else? Drake, if you would step aside, this is public hearing, public comment. Mr. Dienoff.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dienoff, City Public Advocate. I believe that C2 zoning from the applicant is the appropriate fit for this frontage of property along West Terra Lane. There's a number of auto-related businesses in this general neighborhood. Sales tax is may bring in some sales tax if the people are an actual resident of the city of O'Fallon, but the sales tax on the purchase of vehicles is paid by the address of the purchaser of the vehicle. I want to ensure that it's kind of dicey of what type of revenue will be brought to the city because, of course, that sales tax depends on where the purchaser actually lives because that revenue goes to where the municipality or unincorporated county that person or that resident lives in. I want to ensure that this expansion takes into account the new M4 regulations by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources and by our city codified code in terms of retention and detention, filtering of water, and making sure that it's discharged in a proper, responsible manner by the property owner. For those reasons, I do not oppose and am for the rezoning of this property by the applicant and the conditional use permit. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. We have no other speakers, so I'll go ahead and close the public hearing, public comment. Any other questions for Drake? Seeing none, brings Bill 7785, motion for first reading.
Cook?
Motion by Councilman Cook, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. Councilman Cook, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mayor. Bill number 7785, an ordinance providing for the rezoning of a certain tract of land located at 835 West Terra Lane, owned by For the Future LLC, from R1 Single Family Residential District to a C2 General Business District.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7786. Motion for first reading.
Ragsdale.
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second.
Cook.
Second by Councilwoman Cook. Councilman Ragsdale, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 7786, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to the owners of Milenbush Auto Source to allow automobile and other motor vehicles, retail, new and used, in a C2 General Business District under certain conditions on a certain tract of land located at 835 and 839 West Terra Lane within the city of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7787. Motion for first reading. Oh, do I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn. Do I have a second?
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Brings first reading by title only for 7787.
Cook.
Motion by Councilman Cook, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. Councilwoman Cook, please present the bill.
Thank you. Bill number 7787, an ordinance of the City of O'Fallon, Missouri, amending Nunc Pro Tunc, the legal description contained in Ordinance 7231 concerning annexation of property generally located west of 921 Highway K.
Thank you. Motion for second reading.
Cook.
Motion by Councilwoman Cook, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Bill number 7787, second reading and consideration for adoption. An ordinance of the City of O'Fallon, Missouri, amending Nunc Pro Tunc, the legal description contained in Ordinance 7231 concerning annexation of property generally located west of 921 Highway K.
Thank you. Motion for final passage.
Cook.
Motion by Councilwoman Cook, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. Questions or comments? Cast your vote.
Voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. 7787 passed, becomes ordinance number
7242.
7242. Thank you, Katie. Brings Bill 7788. Motion for first reading.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Wexler, please present the bill.
Bill number 7788, an ordinance renaming the existing Public Works Drive to Industry Drive and reassigning the name Public Works Drive to the new roadway in the great city of O'Fallon.
Thank you. Questions and comments on Resolution 911-2025C? Seeing none, motion second to introduce.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second. Second by Councilman Taylor. All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 911-2025C, a resolution of the City Council of the City of O'Fallon declaring its intent to reimburse itself for certain capital expenditures with the proceeds of tax-exempt bonds, notes, or leases.
Thank you. Motion final approval.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second.
Taylor.
Second by Councilman Taylor. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution C has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution D? Motion second to introduce.
Ragsdale.
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 911-2025D, a resolution declaring the surplus status of properties owned by the City of O'Fallon and authorizing their disposal.
Motion for approval.
Ragsdale.
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution D has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution E? Seeing none, motion second to introduce.
Boyer.
Motion by Councilman Boyer, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 911-2025E, a resolution authorizing a change order with Contegra Construction Company, LLC, providing for additional scope for O'Fallon Wastewater Treatment Plant Solids Handling Improvements Project in an amount not to exceed $50,931.46.
Motion for approval.
Boyer.
Mr. Councilman Boyer, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Council members, please cast your vote.
Voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution E's been approved. Question or comments on Resolution F? Seeing none, motion second to introduce.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 9/11/2025F, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Jarrell Mechanical Contractors providing for HVAC hail damage repairs at city facilities in an amount not to exceed $57,390.
Thank you. Motion for approval.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution F has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution G? Seeing none, motion second to introduce.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second. Second by Councilman Cook. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 9/11/2025G, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Co-Equipment Incorporated providing for closed-circuit television sewer inspection systems in an amount not to exceed $230,509.75. Money going right down the sewer. Sorry.
Motion second to approve.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Taylor?
Who's that down there? Boyer. Council members, cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
All right. 8 yes, 0 no. Resolution G's been approved. Question or comments on Resolution H? Mr. Boyer.
This one's a little confusing. There's a lot of different people playing in this particular project. Can we get the city to give a quick overview of all the pieces and parts here?
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilman Boyer. As you all know, we are in the process of a contract with Lamke Construction for about a $1.5 million project to make improvements to the Highway K and N intersection. As that project has evolved over the last few years, unfortunately, the stretch of Route N, basically from the stoplight at Schnucks and Deerbergs to the intersection at K and N, has deteriorated far beyond where anyone would have expected it to be when the scope of this project was first developed. So we have an opportunity right now, because we have essentially a contractor on site who's doing the work in the area, to enhance this project and address those failing slabs in that stretch. Change order is a little unique because it does cover 2 different jurisdictions. We have the large portion of this stretch is City of O'Fallon roadway. There is a small portion, the area closest basically to the intersection, that is MoDOT's. The total amount for all of the work from K up to the close to the stoplight is the $600,000 amount, and that's what the change order is talking about. There is a piece in here that is, the change order is written rather vaguely, that talks about $144,000 for, and I forget the exact language, but additional unexpected work or something like that. That $144,000 is directly related to the work that on MoDOT's section of street. If MoDOT does want to do that, they will be included in this project and they would pay the $144,000. If they choose not to do it, this $144,000 will be eliminated from the change order, and we will move forward at an amount lower than the $600,000. Because of the timing on this, we felt it best, after working with the contractor, to do this all at one time, get approval for the whole thing at one time, so that we can get this done prior to the end of the year and before the contractor has to move on to other jobs. So it's a little unique in that way, but the total is $600,000. $144,000 of that approximately is MoDOT's portion. If MoDOT doesn't do it, that number is eliminated. The other piece to this is the whole project gets county road board funding. We do have permission from the county that if there's additional road board funding from this project, we can apply it to our portion of the $600,000 project. So the issue is we won't know exactly how much that'll be until the rest of the project is completed. So that $450,000-ish number would be the maximum the city would have to pay to do this. Any amount that the county gives us would be applied to the city's portion only. It would not be applied to MoDOT's portion. I hope that explains it.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, and you had pictures too, and it helped a whole lot too.
And the best thing is, it's going to be real nice, and then you're going to go from there into some terrible road work, so we get it all taken care of. So, any other questions? Seeing none. Motion second to introduce.
Boyer.
Motion by Councilman Boyer, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 911, 2025H, a resolution authorizing change order number 4 with Lamke Trenching and Excavating Incorporated, providing for additional pavement replacement for the Route K and N improvement project in an amount not to exceed $600,000.
Motion second to approve.
Boyer.
Motion by Councilman Boyer, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Cast your vote, please.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution H has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution I? Seeing none, motion second to introduce.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second. Second by Councilman Wexler. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 911, 2025I, a resolution authorizing an agreement with Motorola Solutions, providing for an additional Astro Next AXS dispatch console and 19 APX 6500 remote mount mobiles in an amount not to exceed $271,142.68.
Thank you. Motion second to approve.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments? No, I'm sorry. Cast your vote. You already had your chance.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution I has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution J? Mr. Kewen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to, if I may, invite Mr. Barnard, who's here, who is a representative for the villages that we're talking about, in order to answer any questions you may have.
Hi there. Dan Barnard, 2800 West Clay Valley Drive, St. Charles. I'm here to answer questions. I had a great meeting with you all, with the city staff and the Ms. Taylor and Mr. Kewen and the mayor, and great meeting. I've summarized what we're wanting to do at the 3.7 acres on Mexico Road between the Walgreens at the corner of Bryan and Mexico and the daycare facility, 56-unit senior project. We built a lot of these senior project with tax credits all around St. Charles County, and we're hopeful to do it again. We're submitting an application to Missouri Housing Development Commission next week, MHDC we call it. It's a competitive process, and having public support and city support is pretty key to that. So we're here asking for your support on it, and we'll have more to come as we go through the planning and zoning and council approval process later this year. And I'm here to answer any questions that anybody might have about it.
Okay. Questions for Dan? Amanda?
Well, thank you, Mr. Bernard, for coming out tonight and for addressing all the concerns that we had in the meeting and being so accessible for questions. I didn't really have a question, just a statement. I ran into a friend of mine who's an alderman in St. Peters, where you're building in his ward, and I asked him how that was going, and I'm happy to report that he had nothing but good things to say about working with you all. I think his words were, they have been very good to us, so I was glad to hear that. I also, this week, talked with some at the senior home over there and the owner of the daycare that's across the street from that area, and kind of filled them in, and they had all positive things, I think. Some little concerns, but nothing bad. They know this is, happy that this is what is proposed to go in that area, that it makes sense, and that senior living is much, much needed in our area. So, yeah, I just want to say I fully support this, so thanks for coming out.
Great, thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a motion second to introduce.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Taylor?
Second by Councilman Taylor. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 9/11/2025J, a resolution encouraging funding for Phoenix Real Estate Services LLC for the Village at Hillman Farm, a proposed senior housing community in the city of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Again, motion second to approve.
Kewen.
Councilman Kewen, second.
Taylor?
Second by Councilman Taylor. Councilman people, cast your vote. Keep them
The voting is closed.
Keep you on your toes. 8 yes, 0 no.
Is that like village people?
Yeah. Dan, just to let you know, I'll have that signed tonight, and probably Monday, you'll probably be able to get a copy of it.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Questions or comments on Resolution K? Seeing none, most second to introduce.
Cascala.
Motion by Scala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 9/11/2025K, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a national opioid settlement agreement with Purdue.
Purdue University?
I don't think so. I think it's the chicken people.
That's a different Purdue.
Oh.
Spelled different. Question. Motion for second reading and approval.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution K has been approved. Questions, comments on Resolution L? Most second to introduce.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Cascala.
Second by Cascala. All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. O'Keefe.
Resolution 9/11/2025L, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a new national opioids secondary manufacturers settlement agreement.
Thank you. Most second to approve.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Cascala.
Second by Cascala. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting is closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution L has been approved. So, I'd like to have, that's all on new business. I'd like to have a motion to go to closed session, 610-0211. Legal action, cause of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential privileged communications between public governmental body or its representative and its attorneys. 610-0212, leasing, purchasing, or sale of real estate. And 610-0212, sealed bids and related documents till the bids are opened, and sealed proposals and related documents or any documents related to negotiated contract until a contract is executed, where all proposals are rejected.
Ragsdale?
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Roll call, Katie.
Councilmember Roth.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
Councilmember Bibb. Councilmember Costello. Sorry about that. Yes. Councilmember Kewen.
Yes.
Councilmember Wexler.
Yes.
Councilmember Taylor.
Yes.
Councilmember Cook. Yes. Councilmember Ragsdale.
All right. We'll adjourn from closed session, and we'll be up in the community room at 8:45.